Brisbane, the capital of Queensland. Despite being Australia's third largest city, next only to Sydney and Melbourne, and still developing rapidly, Brisbane is pretty laid back. It's vibrant and youthful, but life here seems to move at a gentle pace. It's able to maintain an atmosphere that feels more relaxed than intimidating. And that's one of the reasons I love this city. Hey there, poor traveler! We are Vince and Josh. Brisbane was the 6th Australian destination we set foot in. In this video, we'll share with you some tips that could hopefully help you plan your trip, especially if it's your first time. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified when we upload new travel videos. Brisbane takes pride in having at least 280 days of sunshine per year, making it a year-round destination. But when is the best time to visit? April to May, according to the tourism officers we talked to. That's considering all things: weather, crowdedness, and prices. Brisbane enjoys a subtropical climate, so expect torrential showers even when the day starts all sunshiny. Summer is hot and wet, and winter is mild and relatively dry. But note that Australia is in the southern hemisphere, so summer is from December to February. These months can get too hot with chances of thunderstorms, but if you're visiting within this period, prepare light clothes. Weather-wise, winter is great for tourists. The air is cool and pleasant for sightseeing and just walking around. It doesn't get too cold, and all you need is a light jacket or sweater and you'll be fine. An overcoat can be over the top even at night. Unlike most Australian cities, Brisbane isn't tucked by the beach. It lies on the banks of the Brisbane River, which cuts across the city before emptying into Moreton Bay. Three major areas have the highest concentration of accommodations. First, the central area. At the very heart of the city, this is the neighborhood surrounding Central Station, which means accessibility isn't an issue. Most major hotels like Sofitel, W, Ibis, and Best Western are here. There are also a few budget options scattered around. What's great about it is its accessibility to most of the key landmarks and shopping street. Buses going to Mount Cootha and Lone Pine also stop here. For budget travelers, Upper Roma Street is ideal. The short street is lined with hostels and budget hotels including Brisbane City YHA, Chill Backpackers, Yellow Submarine, and Eaton House Hostel. Prices are usually half of the usual hotels, sometimes even lower. The nearest station is Roma Street, which is directly connected to the airport. Another key area is the South Bank, which harbors plenty of lodging options. The properties near the river are usually more expensive. As you walk further from the river, you'll find cheaper options like Brisbane Backpackers Resort, Go Now Family Backpacker Hostel, and Somewhere to Stay. These are often the cheapest in the city. I've tried staying in both the Central and Upper Roma areas. Central is really the best place to stay because you're in the middle of all the action. Surrounded by key landmarks, bus and train stations, shops, and restaurants. That's not to say that Upper Roma Street is bad. No, not at all. It's a few blocks from Roma Station and a bit detached from everything else, so prepare to walk a bit every day. But it's not that far. It will give you just enough dose of exercise. We stayed at Brisbane City YHA. Rooms are clean and very affordable. The staff was helpful, friendly, and always cheerful. Lots of amenities in the common areas, especially their big spacious kitchen. Food in Australia is expensive, so the kitchen mattered to me a lot. There's also a mall with a Coles supermarket on the other side of the street, so you can easily shop for ingredients if you intend to cook your food at the hostel. Brisbane and the larger Southeast Queensland area are served by Brisbane Airport. In 2016, it was named one of the world's best performing large-size airports with 86.71 on-time performance. Although it is the third busiest airport in Australia, it is not too large or complicated, so you don't need to worry about getting lost. Airport processes are standard and streamlined. Note, however, that Australia is painstakingly strict and thorough when it comes to customs inspections, and it's also true at Brisbane Airport. To avoid any trouble, make sure you've read the policies well. Have proper documents for restricted items and don't try to come in with prohibited items. Brisbane City is situated southwest of the airport, 20 to 30 minutes away. If your destination is Central Station or Roma Station, you can take any of these options. The air train can take you to the city center in around 20 minutes. The regular fare is $19.5 for one way or $37 round trip. But if you book online in advance, you can snag up to 15% discount. A ticket booked online 6 days ahead is only $15 one way or $29 round trip. Kids 14 and below are free of charge as long as they're accompanied by an adult with a ticket. You can also travel by shuttle van. Klook offers efficient van transfers that cost $20 per person one way. It's slightly pricier than the air train, but the good thing about it is they can drop you off in front of your hotel so you don't need to worry about navigating around the city with luggage in tow on your first day. Cabs and Uber are also good options if you're a group of 2 or more. We asked taxi drivers how much it would usually take to the city center and they said around $50. But we tried Uber and were only charged $32. Note that the taxi, shuttle, and Uber are traffic dependent so it can take longer than 30 minutes to reach the city center, especially at peak hours. With the exception of Mount Coot-tha and Lone Pine Koala Sanctuary, most of the tourist spots are concentrated in 2 areas, the Central Business District or CBD and South Bank. These 2 districts are separated by the Brisbane River, which is straddled by a number of bridges. The CBD and much of the South Bank parklands are flat, which makes any stroll here a walk in the park, sometimes literally. Brisbane is very walkable. If you have the energy in a pleasant sunshiny day, you won't feel the need to take any form of transportation. Within these areas, the only time I paid for transportation was when we switched hotels from near Central Station to near Roma Station, and only because it was raining. If the skies were clear that day, I would have walked too. But here are other public transportation options in case walking is out of the question. Brisbane's major transportation modes are the bus, the ferry, and the train, and they are all connected by a single ticketing system called TransLink. This makes any journey within the city and surrounding areas seamless and stress-free. To make it work, they implemented a tariff system that divides the Greater Southeast Queensland area into 8 concentric zones. The fare depends on how many of these concentric rings you cross. Brisbane City Centre is at the very center of it and occupies Zone 1. If you stay within the city center, then you only travel within one zone. But if you go on a trip to, say, Lone Pine Koala Sanctuary, which is in Zone 2, the journey will be straddling 2 zones, Zone 1 and Zone 2. Hence, you'll be paying more for it. To see which zones your destinations are located, here's a map. You can also find a link to this map in the description of the video. TransLink also offers Go Card, a contactless stored value card that passengers can use without having to pay for a ticket each time. Having this will let you save 30% on fares. However, it's not recommended for tourists because a $10 deposit is required and getting a refund for deposit and unused value can be a difficult process. Also because, again, you might not need to use the public transportation that much anyway. Here are the regular adult fares and concession fares. Make sure you have a valid ticket when taking public transportation. Inspections happen often and inspectors are strict in implementing fines. Bear in mind that Brisbane Airport is not covered by the usual TransLink fare system. Special fares apply, so even if the airport is actually within Zone 2, prepare to pay more. And oh, the Red City Hopper ferries that crisscross Brisbane River is free of charge. Yep, no tickets required. Just hop onto the ferry. This is only for the Red City Hopper. The blue ones are the regular ferries and are still covered by the fare zones. If you're traveling beyond Brisbane and around Southeast Queensland, you can get a CQ card, which is designed for tourists. A CQ card will allow you unlimited travel using the TransLink bus, train, ferry, and tram services for 3 or 5 consecutive days. It also covers 2 air train services within the network, including the Brisbane Airport to City Centre route. Prices are $79 for 3 days and $129 for 5 days. Taxi rides are pricey in Brisbane. Flag-down rates are as follow. The meter will then add $2.17 per kilometer or 82 cents per minute of waiting. On top of that, a $1.5 booking fee is charged if you ring or text a company to arrange a cab. This doesn't apply to cabs that you hailed in the streets or those you catch at a designated taxi rank except at airport ranks. You can find the main taxi ranks here. But you can also just wait by the curbside and hail a cab like usual. You'll know the cab is vacant if the sign on the roof is lit. No booking fee is collected this way either. Another option is Uber, which is cheaper than taxi. If you're a group of 3 or more, this is an economical option, especially if you're carrying some bags. One thing we noticed though is that cash isn't accepted, only credit cards. I'm not sure if this is true for all Uber units in the city or just some, but the many times we attempted to ride an Uber, the app requires a credit card enlisted in the account. Hit the supermarket. A meal at a restaurant pays within the $8 to $18 range. The best way to save on food is to buy from the grocery, supermarket, or cheap food stalls and just eat it at your hostel. If you can, choose a hostel with an open kitchen so you can cook too. Should you wish to eat out and experience some of the city's restaurants, do so for lunch, not for dinner. Lunch is cheaper. What is the tipping policy in Brisbane? The short of it is, you don't need to tip. Tipping isn't obligatory in Brisbane or anywhere in Australia, but you can if you enjoy the service. 5% is safe. For exceptional service, 10% should suffice. You can also just round off the bill. For nationals of many countries including the Philippines, an Australian visa can be obtained online. All you need to do is accomplish a lengthy but easy application form and upload some supporting documents and you can get a visit visa for tourism or business in a matter of days. We have written a separate dedicated post about it. You can find the link in the description of this video. We'll also be creating a separate video counting down the best things to do and places to visit in Brisbane, so be sure to check back. Better yet, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new travel videos. If you need more information about traveling around Australia, you'll find comprehensive travel guides with sample itineraries on our website, www.thepoortraveler.net, or check out the links in the description. If you have questions, make good use of the comment section below. You can also follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Just look for @ThePoorTraveler, single L. You may also tune in to the Poor Traveler podcast on Spotify. That's all for now. Remember, plan smart, travel safe, and make every trip worth it.